So welcome back to another edition of Texas Oatmeal. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I've been slacking a little bit, and my buddy Mark that gave me a little shout out on his last video, a couple videos ago, because he's quite a bit ahead of me. He gave me a shout out so that you guys would sign up and subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate that very much. If you're not subscribed to his channel, he is Mark Santa Maria on YouTube. I'll link his channel in the description below and put a little thing on the screen so you can subscribe to him too. Great guy, known him for many years. He gave me that shout out so that I could get a few more subscribers. We didn't get quite to where we wanted to be. I was hoping for like maybe 60 subscribers from him, about 10% of his followers, and I got like 30. So not quite where we wanted to be, but hey, I'll take it. It's more than I had before this. There's a UPS truck going by, probably not delivering anything for me. So, but I'll take it. I owe him at least one free painted body because I told him for every 20 subscribers I'd get, I'd paint a body for him or his son or whatever he wants a body for his radio control car. And I'm gonna hook him up still. So what we're doing today is washing this bad boy. The Scion has seen some nighttime use lately, and it is a little filthy. It's got some bugs on it, and it's time to give it a little wash. So we're going to use the last part of this beautiful day. It's been raining here lately in Texas, so we're going to use the last part of today to do a little car maintenance, give it a little bath, and hopefully we get it done before the sun goes completely down. So, and just like all of my other fellow YouTubers that I subscribe to, we're going to get a cold start on So just to give you an idea, like when I say we've had some nighttime driving, the bugs in Texas right now are just insane. I don't understand. It's like the end of summer, kind of coming into fall, and I don't ever remember them being this bad, but it's ridiculous right now. So anytime you drive at night in Texas, especially where I live because I'm out in the country a little bit, you get these bugs on here, and it is just, I mean, bug splatter after bug splatter after bug splatter. Like, they're just all over, and this is after I've let it, you know, kind of, some of this has kind of gone away because I've already washed part of the car and I've already sprayed down the front end, so some of it's not that bad. But man, like the windshield, I stopped and got gas the other night and I cleaned off the windshield, and 5 minutes later, ridiculous. Like, so many bugs on it, you could barely see through it. I hate it. My OCD kicks in, and I just can't stand having a dirty car. So anyways, we're going to finish cleaning this up, and we're going to tell you guys a little bit about this car. Okay, so it's getting dark outside, and the mosquitoes that are causing part of the trouble with the bugs collecting on the front of the car at night are biting me, and I'm tired of getting bitten. So I'm going to end for tonight, but I'm going to pick up where we left off right here tomorrow, and it'll be like you guys never even left. So 3, 2, 1, and we're back. So I did a little switcheroo, changed my shirt, changed my hat, but that's because it's the next day. But also swapped the cars around. That's because Scion was over here in the dark a little bit, And since we're doing a video about Scion, we're going to move it over here to the light where we can see it. So this is a 2006 Scion XB. It's got about 156,000 miles on it. I bought it with, I think, 114,000 or something like that on it. About, I think, a year and a half ago. I'm not sure. But, you know, it was completely stock when I got it. I'll show you a picture of a stock one right here. And I have modified it a little bit. You know, just inky wheels. Just something. They kind of color match. But that's the stock color of the wheel itself. But it was pretty close to the color of the car. You know, this Thunder Cloud Gray, I think they call it. Thunder Cloud Metallic, maybe. Or maybe I'm getting confused with the old Tacoma I had. I don't know. Whatever this color is, it's gray. It's not like a silver. It's a little darker. But it's been pretty nice. I wrapped the hood in carbon wrap. I know that looks pretty realistic, but that is fake carbon. But, you know, it's about as close as you can get to the real thing. Also did the roof in carbon. So it looks pretty good. There were some scratches and dents. I mean, the dents are still there, but you can kind of see them, you know, in the light. Just right. But I just wanted to cover that stuff up and make it look a little different. But wanted to have that two-tone look, and wrapping it, of course, is the fastest way to do that. Had a buddy do it in, like, I don't know, a couple hours. Done deal. Put the bug deflector on. I don't know why I have something with bug deflectors. I really like them. I had them on my Ranger when I had it. I had it on my Tacoma, and now I've got it on this. I don't know what it is about bug deflectors, but I really like them for some reason. But other than that, oh, I did the hatch too back here. I don't know how much you'll see of this because it's dark. It's dark. But it's wrapped in carbon too. You can't really tell. Got my Texas Oatmeal sticker on there because you never know. Somebody might see me out in public and think that that's really cool, and they just have to subscribe to my channel. So, pretty stock other than that. Stock suspension. I haven't done really anything to the interior. I did paint a couple things, like well, you can't see anything in here because it's so dark. Okay, so interior mods. I did a black piece there that's normally silver, like the buttons. This piece in black, because it's normally silver as well. And then, of course, the other side. And then I did the back seat control panel, window control section or whatever. And, that JVC stereo, just kind of basic, but I wanted something that had Bluetooth in it, and this stock stereo just wasn't going to cut it. So, pretty simple little mods to the inside. I haven't done anything else, I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, so I don't drive this car very often. I mean, I drive the BMW. It's electric, so it costs me nothing to drive it every day. And I drive about 100 miles round trip. So I don't drive the Scion that much unless I just absolutely need to. If I need to go farther than to and from work, a lot of times I'll drive this because it gets like 30 miles to the gallon, so it's pretty good on fuel economy. I've had worse cars for sure, but this thing's been a trooper. It's got a little 1.5 liter engine in it. Makes a little over 100 horsepower, or it did when it was new. Who knows what it makes now. I've had really no issues out of it other than one coil pack went out. And when the coil pack went out, it was about, $40 to get a whole set of coil packs for it. And I replaced it in all of 10 minutes. It's right on top of the engine, super easy to get to, and it hasn't done anything since. Like, it's been just a really reliable little car. And that's what these things were made to be, simple, easy to work on, cheap to fix. It was like Toyota's entry-level line almost. There weren't a ton of options for the cars. You could, from the factory, you could get dealer-installed options. So there were a lot of, little things like this thing has these sweet lights in it. Let me get the keys. One key, of course, because the previous owner would have lost it, I guess. But this is only one owner car too, so, you know, pretty cool. Anyways, so we've got a sweet, don't mind the beeping, but sweet LED lights in the cup holders. You can't really see that, but they're there. And this guy, the little underglow stick in the footwell. This was a dealer installed option in, you know, 2006, or I guess from 2004 to 2006 when this one was available. I don't know if they did it in the next generation of these cars or not, but for this one, you could get things like that. That was like Scion's thing, to like make it hip and cool and get into like this younger generation. And I guess it worked for the most part, but I mean, obviously they've killed this car off now, or the whole Scion brand is done and gone. I have it. Oh, sorry, yellow fog lights. I added those. Those were not installed from the factory. It just had some little plates on there to kind of cover it up. But the wiring was all in this car too. So if you wanted to put those fog lights in, you can buy the fog lights. The wiring's already in the car. So they come with a switch that mounts into the dash and gives you, you know, a factory install without having to really go through the trouble of running wires. I mean, you just plug them in and they work. So that's kind of nice. This is normally silver, but I painted it black because it was kind of faded and didn't look real great when I got it. And I wanted, black headlights. I did a black headlight mod, as in I got on eBay and I ordered black headlights. So it made it just solid black across the front, which I liked. You know, those down there were already black, and I liked the look of all the black. So this thing, you know, brand new was, well, let's see, I think I still have the sticker for it. So this thing brand new was $17,128. And from what I know, they didn't really, I guess, negotiate on the prices. I don't know. I bought it from a dealership, like a Ford dealership or something, or AutoNation dealership. I forget where I get it. Anyways, they didn't really, I guess, negotiate on price too much with the Scion brand because there wasn't a lot of dealer markup. I mean, I guess they probably made decent money on these options, $1,600 worth of options, you know, base price $15,000, and then these little things, the LED light enhancements for $275, a cargo liner, which I don't know what that is. I don't think I have it. An armrest, $125 for an armrest. You think just armrest would be a standard thing? Alloy wheel upgrade, which is funny because these are the stock wheels that I got with the car, and they have some cheap hubcaps, so I guess my alloy wheels that came with it got sold at some point. The rear spoiler that's on there, the Pioneer 160 watt radio with 6 speakers. Also, I'm not so sure about that because I have that thing somewhere, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, it is a Pioneer. So that's the stock radio. And it's fine and all, you know, I mean, CD player, whatever. It's got an auxiliary port, but the auxiliary port didn't work. You know, you plug something in the auxiliary port on it, you think it would, you could click the aux button and it would play through that. Nope, didn't work. So I didn't try to diagnose it. I wanted Bluetooth, so I put that JVC unit in there. And the stereo's okay, it's not great. But then, you know, carpeted floor mats are the next option. That, how do you not get carpeted floor mats and then again a cargo mat that's different than a cargo liner evidently? But all of that added up to $1,600 worth of upgrades. So $17,000 brand new for this thing, for 4-cylinder, 16 valve, 1.5 liter, 100 and something horsepower, basically nothing. Little bitty engine, 4-speed automatic. And so this thing's slow. You know, it's, you floor it and it goes 0 to 60 in, I don't know, 10 seconds or something. It's, I don't know what the real numbers are, but it's definitely not fast. But I didn't buy it for it to be fast because, you know, I just didn't care. I wanted something that was fuel efficient, and this thing is definitely that. And I always wanted one of these. When these first came out, I wanted this square little goofy car. You know, they have a ton of headroom inside when you're sitting in it. You know, so they're surprisingly roomy in there. It's technically titled as a minivan, or I guess that's what it says on my insurance. It says it's a minivan. And it's more like a microvan because these things are tiny. It's not like a minivan like you'd see today that would take up this entire garage, you know, front to back. This thing's pretty small, you know, because there's not, you know, obviously a third row to hold passengers with then extra cargo room. So it's pretty small. But, you know, this thing, it was always kind of quirky to me, and I always wanted one, and I never got one. You know, I had all these other cars, and this thing just kind of always stood out. Clearly I like quirky cars, or, you know, got the BMW sitting there, and the styling on it is hit or miss. Some people love it, some people don't. But this thing, you know, I don't know. I kept seeing them around town. I always wanted one. So I paid right at $5,000. As a matter of fact, I paid exactly $5,000. I went into a dealership. I told them that I wanted to pay no more than $5,000 cash for it, and they made the paperwork come out to exactly $5,000 even. So got it a year and a half or so ago. That was a little expensive for these kind of cars, but it was one owner, and it's pretty good. It's got like one little scuff on the side where it looks like a shopping cart hit it and kind of dented it and scuffed it or whatever. I don't care, but the rest of it's been pretty good. Obviously, you know, one owner, they kept it pretty much stock, so I didn't worry about like somebody ragging on it. It was some lady that owned it. It's been in Texas its whole life, so it wasn't up north collecting a bunch of salt. It's super rust free. I mean, the bottom of this thing looks great. Even after I've driven it for a year and a half, it's still, you know, pretty clean underneath. But I'm in Texas, so I don't get salt on the road. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to show you guys this thing. I love it. I think, you know, it's a great car for, especially if you had like a first-time driver. You know, it's not fast enough to get, you know, in trouble with it, but, you know, it's kind of quirky. It's kind of cool. Plenty of room, you know, headroom, leg room. You know, I'm only 5'7" or so, so I fit in it fine, of course. But like a 6 foot tall person, one of my roommates is 6'1" or something crazy, and he sits in here just fine. So, you know, just I don't know if we'll be able to see this, but you know, I'm sitting in here with, I don't know, however many inches of headroom here, like more than 6 inches of headroom. And, you know, I'm sitting up normally here, got tons of leg room here too. Again, you can't see this down there. My feet are down there. You know, so you know, it's huge in here. I don't know if y'all saw, but the gauges are center mounted. You know, so the gauge is off center from the steering wheel, which is kind of weird. Kind of, you know, there's many Coopers do that. This thing does that. I don't really know why, because like when you light up your turn signals, you know, they're over here. Yep. So they're over here, like off to the side, which is weird. But you get used to it. I mean, it's not anything that you're just like, oh, like I can't live with that. Like, it's just part of having one of these cars. So anyways, so that's my 2006 Scion. You know, I hope you guys thought it was interesting. I've always liked it. I've always thought it was a really cool car. Getting great gas mileage, super cheap to maintain. This little engine's in like, you know, all kinds of Toyotas, super reliable. Super cheap to fix. Like I say, those coil packs, now they were off-brand coil packs. They weren't the ones that came with, you know, the factory ones or whatever that are something crazy like $80 a pop or something. They were $40 for 4. They work great. So, you know, that's all I've had trouble out of it. You know, it's hard to beat this little thing, which is why I've kept it as long as I do. Like I go through cars pretty quick, but this thing, you know, I just keep it around. Now, that being said, there is going to be a new car on the channel. So, like all these other YouTube vloggers that have these car channels, I gotta keep it fresh. So for all you 71, or maybe I'm up to 72 followers, I don't know. But for you followers that are out there watching this channel, there's a new car coming. So, you know, I'm not gonna give it away. A couple of you know what it is, so hopefully nobody comments on what's coming, but it's coming pretty soon. Hopefully maybe in the next couple weeks, I'm not sure. I got a buddy that's wanting to sell it to me. He needs to get his girlfriend a car before he sells it to me. So whenever they get that to happen, when they go car shopping for her, then we'll talk about selling this thing to me. So, you know, I'll have a full garage. I'll have to make a little room here. We'll have to clean this side up, get the Scion over to this side, because the new car is going to take up more room than you can fit on this side. It's going to need the full length over here, because it is a little bit bigger than these two guys. These two guys are almost the same length. I mean, I'm a little further forward in the Scion than I am in the Beamer, but I'm a little further back in the Beamer than I am the Scion, so they're almost exactly the same length. It's kind of interesting. I never really paid attention. Alright guys, so that's kind of it for tonight. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Somehow that helps me. I don't really know how, but that's what all the other YouTube people say. Again, thank you to Mark Santa Maria. He gave me a little shout out and I got 30 something followers from him. Hey, that's better than nothing. I was hoping for like 60, but you know, hey, I'll take 30. That's pretty cool. So I got one body coming for you, Mark, or for your son, whoever you want me to paint for. I got one coming for you for sure. So thank you again. So if you're new to the channel, or if it's the first time you've stopped in, please give it a like. And subscribe. You know, the more people that subscribe, the more I want to do this, the more content I want to put out. So, you know, again, hopefully you guys liked it, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.